Welcome back to the program. It's still Daybreak Africa, and right now is our interview segment. In recent years, the pursuit of new opportunities for better lives has driven so many Nigerians to consider the option of relocation and immigration to foreign countries. However, these Nigerians find themselves stranded abroad as a result of fake or insecure sponsorship. Joining us to talk about our topic for today is Barrister Ebenezer Akinbuli. He is a lawyer and a politician.
Welcome. We're so glad to have you on our program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Our topic
you.
for today is relocation and immigration. Nigerians stranded abroad following the use of fake or insecure sponsorship. So can you explain common reasons why Nigerians fall victims to fake sponsorship deals leading to relocation syndrome?
Thank you very much, Scholastica, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm not a strong Christian, but I know that there's a passage in the Bible that says that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And the law does not permit ignorance is not an excuse in law anywhere. So if you are a victim to some things because you don't know the right thing, then you have to pay. Fall victim to these things is because one, they usually do not want to follow the right channel at doing things. Every country has their own immigration laws. There are procedures you must follow to be able to enter into some certain countries. Take, for instance, in the African community, if you are not a member of the ECOWAS community, you would need a visa to travel outside ECOWAS states. But if you are in the ECOWAS states, all I need is just my international passport to move from Nigeria to Ghana to Niger. You get my point? So every country have their own immigration laws. So if you don't follow the right channel, then most definitely you will run into trouble when you get to these countries and you don't have the right immigration papers. So that is the common reason why people fall victim to all of these things, because of one, ignorance, which is not even an excuse in law, and then not doing the right thing they ought to do.
There's some warning signs or red flags that Nigerians should be aware of when considering the sponsorship offers to avoid falling into this problem.
What do you mean by sponsorship offer? Who is sponsoring who? You get my point? I can sit down out of my bedroom and go online and do everything that I need to do without consulting anybody. If I'm able to meet up with the criteria for being in America, and I must be an adult, I should have a source of livelihood, I should have enough funds to be able to take care of myself for my stay. Why do I need anybody to sponsor me? Sponsor me as per what? That I cannot fend for myself. But you see some people going around looking for proof of funds and all of that. It is still all part of the illegitimate process. Why do I need to pay somebody to fund my account for me so that I can show them that I have XYZ amount of money in my account, which is not my money? In any event, I get to the country, the original owner of the money takes his money. I'm stranded. So who is the cause of the problem? You yourself are the cause of the problem. So the real cause of any problem that has to do with immigration is that immigrant himself or herself. Because if you have done what you ought to do, you follow the right channel, you file the right papers that you ought to file, I don't think any country would deny you access into their country when you come in and they see that you have your papers complete and legitimate. So when we learn to do things right, we will see that there are a lot of troubles that will be sidelined. So I don't subscribe to sponsorship, wahala or no wahala. Why do you need anybody to sponsor you first? Sponsor you to go and do what? Is it basically your father? And if your father is sponsoring you, I don't think your father would mess you up. So it's all still part of the illegitimate trying to get this done.
So, when we started, we talked about, lack of ignorance and, people that fall into these issues, not following the right channels, not following the right way. So, I want to ask, what efforts have been made by the Nigerian authority to address, this problem of fake sponsorship and making people stranded? Because over time, it has been happening over time, and okay, in as much as it's being said, follow this right channel, what effort have they made, to put people in the right, in the right direction?
If we have a responsible government, nobody will be willing to leave the country. Why would I want to leave Nigeria that is green, white, green for another greener pasture? You get my point?
Yes, sir.
If Nigeria is enough, if the government make the country green enough, would you want to jack out say?
No.
So, if the country is green enough, we have a responsible government. How that we're telling them, vote for responsible government, vote for us, SDP. They refused. Now they all want to japa the people that this government will favor them and family. They now all want to japa and leave the country for us that don't have sex. Them campaigning and giving them photos. They refuse. So if you have a good government that is responsible, first of all, if you put the right things in place, I don't think any youth will be willing to run away from this country. That is one. Two, you cannot restrict people from traveling. Everybody have their own choice of where they want to live. We all have our freedom. Everybody have a right to wherever they want to live. We have freedom of movement. I can decide to move to anywhere I want to move to. So, and then the government have put in place immigration laws. If you want to travel to America, for instance, you would have to, first of all, get yourself an international passport for you to be able to move the international border. Then once you have the international passport, then you are expected to be able or to now apply to the embassy of that country you want to go to here in Nigeria. So it is not left for them to accept or deny you their visa. If they feel that you meet up with the procedure, then fine. But if they feel that you do not, they will deny you the visa. So these are the laws in place. But you see, why most people are stranded is because they would rather go through the sub-Sahara, go through the desert, and get into a country without any form of papers. How can you be in a country you don't even have international passport? How would you expect to survive? Will you keep hiding here and there? You will not be able to get yourself a proper job. You will be hiding from police and from law enforcement officers. Then you will not start crying that you are stranded. So it is because people have refused to put the right channel. They rather want to move through the back. That is why this issue of being stranded is rampant.
Looking at it from this angle, students who apply for scholarships abroad to foreign countries most times fall into this aspect of fake sponsorship. Are there any legal actions to take when they find themselves in this situation?
What's the definition of fake sponsorship?
Probably the terms and conditions that they were being told wasn't really what they meant when they got there. You get like accommodation, when it comes to accommodation and other stuff. They didn't meet it when they got to the
It's not the
place.
same thing I'm saying. If you follow the right channel, you won't have any issue of sponsorship or not sponsorship. Take for instance, I applied to University of Aberdeen, and I'm giving full scholarship. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Before I get to Scotland, I must have and everything. So why would I fall into any fake body, except the institution itself is a fake institution? So
Okay.
if people follow the channel, they do the right thing without having to go through agents. Now the agents are the ones that you can now tag as giving sponsorship that are fake. But if I'm my own agent, will I work against myself? If I get scholarship in Scotland and they send all my papers to me, and I meet up all the criteria to be in Scotland, and I get myself to Scotland, I will simply go to the school that give me admission.
Okay.
If I get to the school for me, I carry my bag and go back to my country. So I won't be saying I'm stranded or I'm not stranded. But it is where somebody will pay an agent 5 million naira. I want to go to Canada. You give agent 5 million naira. Then the agent will say, okay, your package includes accommodation, includes work permit, and all of that. You will not get there, you start calling agent. Agent is not picking calls.
Okay.
Because only use your money to enrich himself and his family. And probably just process a 2-week holiday visa for you. And then you got there, you are stranded. You have to come back. But if you start by yourself, you are not lazy. You process your thing yourself. You know what you are going for. I have somebody or some people from my own constituency here that did this as Schengen visa. He told me when he wanted to start the process that Oga, he wants to go to Germany. I said, okay, good luck. What do you want to go to Germany? He said tourism. I said, when did you do something with tourism? Oga, if he gets there, he will fight for asylum. That he will fight for asylum when he gets there. So he got to Germany, he stranded, he has to go and file asylum to tell them that, okay, I don't have anybody in Nigeria. Everybody have abandoned me in Nigeria. And he's still there. I think he can't come back to Nigeria in any time. So the people are responsible for their own problem.
Thank you, sir, so much for that, well-detailed information. But you see, no matter how much, this fake sponsorship thing comes online, people still, fall victim day by day. And as you said, due to lack of ignorance and not following the right channel. But I want to know, are there any specific countries where this issue of fake sponsorship, where it's more, paramount for Nigerians? Yeah. Yes. Are they more like countries where people tend to fall prey to these things? Well, Nigerians, rather.
I don't think so. I think it's just a thing of where people want to go to. People want to rather go to Canada. We want to go to all these countries with 5 movement routes. Finland, Germany, this Schengen country, these 5 countries. You get my point. They rather want to go to all those places. But that is where you see people will go to where they can easily get visas for you. I can tell you, I have a very nice blog for Schengen country. Then people will begin to cooking and then will fall victim to all of these guys. So I don't think there's any peculiarity. It just has to do with where things go. It's favorable to your sponsors.
All right, sir. And people that tend to fall prey to these things, what are the challenges that they face? Because from what I've been seeing on news, I see that they are stranded, they live on the streets, they can't afford to feed themselves. Are there any other more challenges that they face that you feel like you can share with us to, shun people and, make them more aware for following the right channels to go through these things?
I can only share what I've experienced from my own personal experience. So I cannot share anything. I can tell you for
you've been
real.
through this. You've been a victim of.
So I have not been a victim. God forbid I am a victim. I've been able to sponsor myself.
But you've had like some experience.
No experience, that's what I'm telling you. But I can tell you, I've seen people that have gone through this. Not personal experience. But I've seen people. But I have had an in-law, that's my cousin's wife, that said she was going to Libya. And then she's calling. She's calling and she's begging. She wants to come back home. And we told her, when you were going, don't tell anybody. That is one. I had an uncle, though I'm older than the uncle, that sold everything he had in Nigeria to go to Dubai.
Okay.
He got to Dubai without sending money to even get himself accommodation.
Oh.
You get my point?
Yeah.
He got there, he said the person that put the visa for him told him the package would come with free accommodation, will come with accommodation for maybe 6 months, and immediate employment, and all of that. No work. Even the agent, when he got to the airport, Abu Dhabi or where he got to, he started calling the agent, number switched off. He had to start looking for any Nigerian around. So he was able to get a Nigerian that now took him to his own hotel. When he got to the hotel, that one started giving him bills. He had to start looking for a job. We had to send him money.
No, that's...
After staying 1 year, after ticket fare to come back to Nigeria. Now he's back to Nigeria without anything. He sold everything he had to travel.
That's sad.
Everything he had sold. So these are things that people go through. So the trauma is enough.
Yes.
To come back home.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. We know that, people that have gone through this, as you probably said, they must have sold almost all their, their belongings and stuff. But talking about where the nation that they are going to and the nation that which they find themselves stranded, do you think that there's anything that the international community can do, to help them?
The only help they can do to them or for them is to send them back to where they are coming from.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
The only thing we noticed in recent times, in the last 2 months, the people that Nigeria had to go and rescue from these countries were running to 5,000, 10,000 Nigerians that they had to go and rescue. So the best they can do for them is to send them back to where they're coming from. Because assuming you have a legitimate paper to even stay there, you can say, oh yes, I have legitimate paper to stay there, but they do not have papers to stay there. So they cannot stay there. They have to go back to where they're coming from.
All right, sir. In terms of prevention, because with the current situation of the country, the hardship and everything, there are people that are still planning on going out of the country. What are the educational initiatives or awareness campaigns that have been put in place to stop those people from making these mistakes?
As we speak now, I have a family friend in Nigeria. People will not listen. I have a family friend in Nigeria that is hustling me big time to come and loan him money because he has gotten visa. He has sold everything. He has a good job in Nigeria here. He has very good, well-paying job in Nigeria here.
Okay.
Well, we seem to have lost Mr. Akinbolu, but from what he said lastly, we know that he was talking about, people being more aware and people, listening and, trying to go through the right channels. It really made me laugh that time he said that, people, like, why do you people sell their properties and you come and be taxing people here?
Because that mindset that they have that, like, if I can just leave this country, everything will be better for me there. You get, they don't even want to think about what might happen. If you're thinking about the good parts, also think about the bad parts. But as at that time, they don't even want to think about the bad part. They just feel like they are being optimistic that this thing is going to work. So I agree with Mr. Ebenezer saying that people won't listen. Even if they are seeing the red flags and the red signs, they will still want to go. That's just it.
All right, well, as we are rounding up our interview segment today, I just want to inform everyone and appeal to everyone that please, when you are, making these preparations, please go through the right channel and go through like the proper information. Ignorance is not an excuse, and there's no way you cannot make it. You can make it in Nigeria.
Exactly.
There's money here. Well, that's what we have for you today on our interview segment. Thank you for joining us. Do stay tuned as we'll be right back.